Okay, let's continue the part about Pep's visits to London. It's the second phase in his life. I told you that we have two students who used to take classes with Pep, with Startup and Bentley Drummel. Bentley Drummel, he's a very arrogant person. He's not that good and friendly with others. Also, the theme of social class is very clear here. Even though he belongs to a high class, he is rude and doesn't have good manners. After that, of course, Pep starts to he takes money from Mr. Jaggers to arrange the room, to buy furniture, and to prepare everything for his life there. After that, we have this part. Joe visited Pep in London. It's a very important point, and we'll see that the theme of feeling guilt and shame is very clear here. Of course, after Pep visited Seth's house, he starts to feel ashamed of Joe, ashamed of his life, ashamed of everything around him. And now, when Joe visited Pep in London, what's going to happen? Of course, Biddy, she writes a letter to Pep informing him that Joe wants to see him and he's going to visit him in London. So Pep, he doesn't like that Joe comes to visit him. He even wished that he wished to pay him, then to make him stay away, not to come to him. So Joe's manners during the visit embarrassed Pep completely. His manners is not like a gentleman. Of course, he is coughing all the time while eating, and he sat away from the table, so the food started to fall down more than he eats. And even he started to call Pep Sir. Instead of calling him with his name, he called him Sir. Pep felt ashamed of Joe, and he didn't like the visit, but at the same time, he felt guilty. He blamed himself. After Joe returned home, he blamed himself. He said that he blamed himself and started to say, if I could have been more relaxed with him, he could have been more relaxed with me. He started to blame himself that it's because of me he acts in this abnormal way, to the extent that he called me Sir. But it's like conflict, feeling of shame from Joe, and also especially in front of Herbert, and he is at the same time felt guilty because he treated Joe in a bad way, to the extent that he called him Sir and he embarrassed him. And because of this, by the end of the visit, Joe told him, I have to leave, and if you want to see your old Joe, come to visit me in the fort. It means that he told him, I'm not going to visit you anymore. So this is an important part to show or to see the character of Pep, how he starts to feel ashamed of his life, ashamed of Joe, even his close friend. And at the same time, there's a conflict inside him, conflict between his feeling, he felt guilty, and at the same time felt ashamed. Guilty because of what he did to his close friend, his dear friend. And he felt guilty before, at the beginning of the novel, when he stole the food and the file when he was a child. So this is a very important sense of guilt from the beginning of the novel. So here he felt sense of guilt because he lied, he didn't tell the truth to Joe at the beginning of the novel, and he stole the food and the file from the house and gave it to the convict. And now he felt also guilt because he didn't treat Joe in a good way, and which makes Joe to feel embarrassed and even called him Sir. Okay, so by this part we'll see we have important characters appeared here. We have Herbert Pocket, the close friend to Pep, and Matthew Pocket, the father of Herbert, and is like a teacher to Pep. Also, I told you that Herbert is going to be like a private teacher, like a teacher to Pep. It's not a teacher in a direct way. Herbert is going to correct Pep's manner, like how to sit, how to eat, not to talk while eating, improving his manners to be a gentleman. We have also like Joe from the beginning of the novel. We have Mrs. Havisham. We have Orlick. Don't forget this Orlick. He is a very evil character. He like is jealous from Pep, and he even tries to kill Pep by the end of the novel. And he also was suspected that he is the one who attacked Mrs. Joe while she was in the kitchen alone. Okay,